Hello students. So next topic that is accuracy, precision and uncertainty in measurement. So we know that these words are very near to each other, precise and accuracy. So we will see it one by one. Physics is a science based on observations and experiments. Observations of various physical quantities are made of during experiment. For example, during the atmospheric study, we measure atmospheric pressure, wind velocity, humidity, etc. So all the measurements may be accurate, meaning that the measured values are the same as the true value. So accuracy is how to close a measurement to the actual value of that quantity, that is called accuracy. And this measurement may be precise, meaning that the multiple measurements give nearly identical values, that is reproducible results. So again and again you have to take this measurement, that is your reproducible results. So in actual measurements, an observation may be both accurate and precise, or near accurate or not precise. The goal of observer should be to get accurate as well as precise measurement. So the possible uncertainties in an observation may arise due to the following reason: quality of instruments, okay, then skill of person doing experiment, the method used for experiment, that is measurement, and external or internal factors affecting the result of experiment. So these are following reasons. So here one simple experiment you have given, okay, you can do that experiment and observe the result. So in terms of errors, okay, so we have just seen before that accuracy and precise. So after that we have to see errors. So in terms of accuracy, which is nothing but what, okay, which is close to the measurement of actual value, but precise net what, it is reproducible values. You are going more precise, more precise, more precise. Okay, so this is a difference between accuracy and precision. Now errors in measurement. So faulty measurements of physical quantity can lead to errors. The errors are broadly divided into following two categories. So first are system errors, are errors that are not determined by the chance of, okay, but are introduced by inaccuracy, okay, inaccuracy either the observation or measurement process. So the inherent to the system source of systematic error may be due to the imperfect calibration of the instruments and sometimes the imperfect method of observation. So these are the reasons. Then each of these errors tend to be in one direction, either positive or negative. The sources of systematic errors are as follows. So three types, okay. First is instrumental error. This type of error arises due to defective calibration of an instrument. For example, an incorrect zeroing of instrument will lead to such kind of error, that is zero of thermometer not graduated at proper place. The pointer of weighing balance in laboratory already indicating some values instead of showing zero when no load is kept on it. An ammeter showing a current of 0.5 ampere even when not connected in the circuit. Then error due to imperfection in experimental techniques. So this is an error due to defective setting of an instrument. For example, the measure volume of a liquid in graduated tube will be inaccurate if tube is not held vertical. Okay, if tube is slanted, then this measurement will not be proper. Then personal error. Such errors are introduced due to fault of an observer. So bias of the observer, careless in taking observation, etc. So could result in such errors. For example, while measuring the length of an object with ruler, it is necessary to look at the ruler from the directly above. If the observer looks at it from an angle, the measured length will be wrong due to parallax method. So in previous lecture we have seen parallax method, okay, or parallactic terms also. Now systematic errors can be minimized by using the correct instruments, following proper experiment procedure, removing the personal error. And then next one is a random error. So the word itself indicates its meaning, that is random error. It can occur randomly or accidentally. Okay, after doing all the precision, okay, all care should be taken, still these errors are coming, and that is nothing but your random error or accidental error. These are the errors which are introduced even after following all the procedures to minimize systematic errors. This type of errors may be positive or negative. These errors cannot be eliminated completely but can minimize them by repeated observations and then taking their mean or average. So random errors occur due to variations in condition which experiment is performed. For example, the temperature may change due to the course of an experiment. So the pressure of any gas used in experiment may change, or the voltage of the power supply may change randomly. So this will be changed after taking care of all the things, okay, after improving instruments, then after calibration also, still these errors occur, so that we call it as a random errors. Then estimation of error, how you can estimate this error. Suppose the readings recorded repeatedly for physical quantity during a measurement, A1, A2, A3 up to A, then arithmetic mean will be what? Okay, A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to An divided by N. Or shortly you can write A mean is equal to 1 upon N summation I1 to N of AI. So you can increase the value of I from 1 to N. This is the most probable value of quantity. The magnitude of difference between mean value and each individual value is called absolute error. So you have to subtract it. So delta A1 is nothing but absolute error of first. So A mean minus A1, A mean minus A2, A mean minus A. These are mean. These are the absolute error. Now mean absolute error means what? Whatever values you have calculated at delta A1, delta A2, delta N divided by N. So 1 upon N is equal to summation I1 to N into delta AI. Again I run from 1 to infinity. The measured value of physical quantity A then be represented by A equal to A mean plus minus of delta A mean, which tells us that the actual value A could be between the A mean to the minus A mean and A mean plus to the delta A mean. So the ratio of mean absolute error to its arithmetic value is called relative error. That is nothing but relative error. When the relative error is represented as percentage is called percentage error. Okay, that is nothing but what? We have to just multiply it by 100. So delta A mean upon A mean into 100. Okay, look at here, relative error delta A mean upon A mean. You have to just multiply it by 100. You will get this type of percentage error. So here one example is given. Very simple example is also given. Okay, you can go through this example also. Okay, and then combination of errors. When we do an experiment, measure various physical quantities associated with the experiment, we must know how the errors from individual measurements combine to give errors in the final results. For example, in the measurement of resistance of a conductor using Ohm's law, there will be an error in the measurement of potential difference and that of current. So it is important to study how these errors combine to give errors in the measurement of resistance. So errors in sum and difference method. Suppose two physical quantities A and B have measured values A plus minus delta A and B plus minus delta B respectively, where delta A and delta B are their mean absolute errors. We wish to find absolute errors. So we have to just add them. Okay. Look at here, Z plus minus Z. So A plus minus delta A plus B plus minus delta B. So after adding you will get delta A plus delta B. For difference also you have to add them. Okay, so error will not be subtracted. Okay, always added. So these are four possible values of delta A, namely delta A minus B, delta A plus B, minus delta A minus delta B, and minus delta A plus B. Hence maximum values of absolute error delta Z will be what? Delta A plus delta B in both the cases. So when two quantities are added or subtracted, the absolute error in final result will be what? Sum always. We have to always take their addition. Now errors in product and division also. So for multiplication also you have to add them. For division also you have to add them. Suppose Z equal to AB, measured value of A and B are, so A plus delta A and B plus delta B, then Z plus delta Z, which is equal to A plus delta A and B plus delta. It will be always plus minus b, okay, as per requirement. So there are again four values: ab plus minus a delta ab, then plus minus b delta ab, then delta a delta b, which will be plus minus. So dividing LHS by z and RHS by AB, so that we will get this formula: 1 plus minus delta z upon z is equal to 1 plus minus delta b upon b plus minus delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. Since delta a upon a and delta b upon b are very small, so we shall neglect their product. Hence, it will be what? In short, okay, we have to neglect them. So delta a upon a plus delta b upon b, that we have to consider only. So this formula also applies to the division of two quantities. So when two quantities are multiplied or divided, or more than two quantities if you consider, okay, still we have to add them, okay. So two quantities multiply divide, maximum relative error in the result is the sum of relative error in the quantity. Then errors due to powers of index, okay, some power if you raise z raised to a cube, so it will be triple a, okay. See, three times also you can write delta a upon a plus delta a upon a plus delta a upon a. So hence relative error a raised to 3 is there times relative error, so n times of delta a upon a. So it will be right in terms of another way, that is 3 delta a upon a, that also you can write. And one more here about z: a raised to p, b raised to q upon c raised to r. So delta z upon z is equal to p into delta a upon a plus q into delta b upon b. And again you can here notice r, that is also take numerator, so it will be r into delta c upon c. So again here you have added them. So the quantity in the formula which has the larger power is responsible for maximum error. So whatever will be the maximum power will be the maximum error will be occur there. Fine. So in this way we have seen the topic, that is errors. So keep in mind, whenever you are going to operation on error, you have to always add them for powers also, okay. Then here you can consider about their product also and division also, okay. And here sum also and difference also. And here there are 5 methods to calculate the errors, okay. So first we have to calculate mean, then absolute error, then mean absolute error, then relative error, then percentage error, okay. So again there are 4 types of errors, okay: instrumental error, then technical error, personal error, and random error, okay. And before that just we have seen, that is accuracy and precision, okay. So it is a very simple topic, okay, but when you are solving the problem on the basis of this estimation of error, it is little bit difficult, because very precise value we have to calculate, add them, subtract them, not subtract, just subtract in terms of absolute, but divide it and to calculate precise answer. So it is difficult in terms of power error, okay, whatever this power, okay, measured errors due to power of measured value, that is difficult to the students, okay. After practicing, again it will be easy about this product and division also, okay. Then it will be easy to us, okay. In terms of power, whatever it will be square root also, cubic root also, okay. Again still we have to just multiply it. Fine. So thank you student, okay. So if you have any question, any doubt, okay, you can contact to us, okay, on our mail ID also, okay, on our group also, okay. So thank you student.